Hello, everybody. It's time to talk about Overwatch. It's time to talk about Overwatch's competitive mode, the debacle going on, and the debates, and whatever else you want to call it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's bad. Why is it bad? We're going to go over that. I first got to say that, as you guys know, I love Overwatch. I've been playing since that first beta back in November. It's really great. If you go and play Quick Match, you're going to have a good time. You're going to love it. It's a fun game. But the moment that you step into this competitive mode, it sucks all the fun out of it. Why is that? There's several reasons, and I want to get into those. First, let's start by talking about the old competitive mode, what was in beta. Because I had put up a video that was like, I love this competitive mode, this is great. Just launch with this, maybe make a few tweaks, but it's great. And then the game launched, they didn't have a competitive mode. Then they came out with this, and it's not good. So the old one was a division setup, where not like the division the game, but a division as in you had divisions that you were placed into competitively. So you had like bronze, gold, or bronze, silver, gold, diamond, or platinum, diamond, and it was I think masters and grandmasters, and that's cool and all, and because it follows the same idea and concept behind the StarCraft setup and now the Heroes of the Storm setup. And then they decided, nope, let's not do that. Let's go with this new 1 to 100 thing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's not as good, and it is technically the same. You could say like 1 to 20 is bronze, 20 to 30 is silver, 30 to 40 is gold, 40 to 50 is platinum, 50 to 60 is diamond, 60 to 80 is masters, and 80 to 100 is grandmasters. You could pretty much break it up that way, but it seems very abstract, and the problem is it doesn't give you a good idea of where your skill is at. If you're like, rank 40, like what does that even mean? What like rank 40? Seriously, what does that even mean? Rank 50? I don't understand. I guess that's middling. I'm average. I'm an average player if I'm rank 50. It doesn't make any sense. There is no point of reference in the competitive system this way. Whereas if you're a diamond player, then you know that you're at least pretty good. You're better than average. You're on the higher scale of things. And if you're a masters player, well then, oh my gosh, like I'm really good. And then if you're grandmasters, you're like, I'm one of the best in the world. That's really cool. It gives you a good scale. Or if you're bronze, you're like, I could work on the game a bit. And it's like, at least you have a point of reference. With 1 to 100, you have no point of reference. So what I've noticed is people that I play with that are in their 30s or in their 40s or high 50s, it doesn't matter. They all have no point of reference of where they're at. And that, I guess that goes with the theme of Overwatch when you're playing Quick Match, which is that you have no idea how good your other teammates are doing. You have a reference of, if you're playing a damage character and you have gold medals and kills and, objective kills, and you can be like, okay, well, I'm obviously killing a lot of people. I'm doing well. I'm doing my job. But it has no bearing on like how well your healer is doing and how well your tanks are doing, because you don't see their stats, you don't see their deaths, you don't see their kills, you don't see. I mean, you see a bit of their play, but you're kind of focusing on what you're doing. You can just sit there and watch your guys. So in Quick Match and in competitive mode, you have no idea how well or not your teammates are doing. But the problem is it also carries into your rank. You have no idea how good a rank 30 player is, right? Because in some direction like that could be considered an MMR, and in fact that's what they're trying to put it out there as. Like, my MMR, my character right now is rank 52. Actually, as of recording this, I'm back up to 53, but what does that even mean? I don't even know where I stand with that. At least with gold and diamond and the divisions and all that, I could get a better idea. I got no idea with this. There's some nights that I'm doing really poorly. Just maybe I'm tired, maybe I haven't played in a while, maybe I'm playing too much Doom, so if I play Reaper, I'll do great because he's got shotguns, but every other character is terrible for me at that time. It doesn't matter, I just don't know what a rank 53 means to me. And if I had the divisions, I would understand a bit more. And I get that out of playing the Heroes of the Storm competitive and the StarCraft ladder and stuff like that. It doesn't work for this kind of competitive mode, which is a team-based thing. The other part of that, and to go into it, is that the team-based thing really hurts on games like this, where if your team is doing poorly, whether you know it or not, you're going to lose. You could be the best player in the world. You're going to have a hard time carrying your team if your entire team is bad. You can only do so much, you know? And it's the same with MOBAs and everything like that. You see that in, you know, League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or Dota. You know, that they have a thing called a carry for a reason, is because you could do the best you can. You're going to have to do all the damage, and you're going to have to play exceptionally. But at the same time, if the rest of your team is terrible, there's only so much you can do. With that said, the game currently, in its current state of competitive, punishes you way too much if your team is bad. Now, I'm not saying that that's an excuse, by the way. I'm not saying that you can just straight up call your team bad and blame them for all of your mistakes, because that's not the case. Oftentimes, if you're losing, you need to look at you first and not your team. It could be very well that your team is bad and you feel like, wow, I'm playing the best game of my life over here and we're still losing. You know, then, again, there's only so much you could do, but don't go blaming your team for, you know, a loss. Sometimes it's just you're being outplayed. Your team may not be bad. The other team is just better. You know, that's often the case, actually, when you're losing. But when the game isn't taking that kind of thing into account and it's straight up punishing you for bad things happening because of the people on your team, that's not cool. What am I talking about? Well, if you're on a team and a current friendly player on your team gets disconnected or leaves, you're actually punished for that unintentionally. Right now, they consider it a bug, and I think it is, but they haven't fixed it yet. They tried to, didn't work. Which is when a player leaves, it pops up at the top of your screen, says you can leave right now because a player has left, and you won't be punished for it. Turns out you're still punished for it. I had the instance happen about a day ago. 2 people had left, and we were all like, well, I guess we're leaving. So we left, and I lost 2 ranks. It demoted me 2 ranks because one of the people on my team left. Bug or not, that's not cool. That should never have made it into the game, because then it actually takes all of the competitive mode and makes it completely irrelevant, because it puts it on RNG at the moment. Are you going to have someone who's going to disconnect on you? Well, that sucks, you know, because you just lost 2 ranks. That's stupid. The other thing is, it also punishes the winning team when a person on the losing team leaves. They still can lose rank, and they still will lose rank if everybody leaves. That's not cool either. Instead, the way that they can fix it, and it's kind of dumb, but it is the best way around it, which is just to kill the game when someone leaves. You know, give them a minute and a half, maybe 2, to get back, just in case they DC'd. But you know what? If they straight up quit, then kill the game. You know, if someone DCs, give them a minute or 2 to get back before the game just completely kicks you out and just says, nope, okay, that game's a wash. But what you can't just have a game continue on when a person has left, when the game isn't ever going to backfill. It will never backfill and find a new player to put in that game, and nor should it, because someone shouldn't be thrown into a potentially losing game and then lose rank because of that. You know, that's just not cool. The other thing about this is, if you did it where it just canceled the game, then you actually have to make it so the winning team, the team that has the most points or was currently winning or whatever, if there's no way to determine this, then it's draw, whatever. But if there was a team that was winning and was about to win, you still got to give them points. A minimal amount, sure, if someone leaves, but still, you got to give them something. You can't just, you can't punish them because the person on the enemy team left. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I think that's what they need to do. And I don't think that's what they're going to do, which is unfortunate. Even if they went back to the old system, the divisions, I don't think that would change anything. I think this problem would still exist. They still need to fix this problem. The other thing is, once you're playing competitive, it seems like all of the hatred and the toxic players are brought out. They were always there. You know, if you're playing quick match and it seems nice and fun and everything, and people are laughing, and sometimes you run into someone who's super salty, whatever, it doesn't matter. The thing is, those people were always there. They were the people who were nice and cheery. You know, it's not just an individual player who is super salty. They have those people, but it's typically the people who were having fun before are no longer having fun. And that's because this mode is so frustrating to play, because you know at any minute you can be punished for playing it instead of rewarded. In fact, even down to the rewards that you're getting playing competitive, which are like the competitive things, I don't remember what they call them, they're like tokens that you can spend to buy golden guns for all of your characters, which is really cool. I like that, but even that, it's not rewarding you enough. It's giving you like 1 per game, and it's like 500 or 300 or something like that to buy one of the weapons. That's a little too much. Even if at the end of the season that they would give you like a chunk based on what rank you ended up, it doesn't feel rewarding enough. And they're also giving like animated sprays and stuff like that. I think that's really cool, but they need to give you more. They shouldn't be punishing you for playing the mode. You should be rewarded for playing the mode. And if people are being rewarded, there would be less salt. There'll be less mean people playing, because they're not feeling like they're doing something that's useless. Like, why am I even playing this? Once that gets into a player's head, you're done. Like, you're never gonna get that happy player back at that point. And even if you like go watch the stuff that I've played with Day 9 recently, and even the old stuff back in the beta, but the recent stuff, we like would go 5 Bastion because it's fun, you know, and quick match. You don't do that kind of stuff in competitive because it's not viable. And the moment that you can't do that stupid stuff anymore, and you can't cheese and have fun the way that you want to have fun because, you know, the game has a certain meta and that's what competitive is for, that already is sucking the fun out. You can't then punish the players for playing it, because it's going to make it twice as worse. And they got to fix that. They got to fix the punishment. They got to reward players more for it, and maybe give a better idea of where you're at rank-wise. Like 53, what does that even mean? It makes no sense. They need to have a better, just general scape of where you're at compared to other players. I think that will help a lot. And make it so maybe you're not losing a full rank when you lose. That sometimes is an issue here. Maybe like, let's say you lose a third of a rank when you lose, but you gain half a rank when you win. I think that would be a good way to reward those players for playing, because as long as you're playing at a 51% win ratio, you're gonna rank up, right? But even then, you're still going to run in, because it's all the same pools of players, because it's an MMR thing. It's not like the old Hero League was for Heroes of the Storm, where no matter what, if you had a 51% win ratio, you were going to get to rank 1. It's not the case this. You're going to actually be put up against, because your rank is technically your MMR, you're going to be put up against like pro players at a certain point, and then you're never going to win against them if you're not good enough. So I think if you did keep it that way, where you gain half a level for a win, you lost a third for a loss, it would be more rewarding, because those players will get to their ranks that they're supposed to be at. And it would reward you for winning, which is fine. And the whole playing with other players and having a person leave and then it punish you, that needs to be fixed and everything. And it's all of this stuff together that is making this mode not fun to play. And if you're playing Overwatch right now, I would say don't play competitive at all until they either redo it or fix it, or maybe you're playing with a full group, because this is just, it's not cool. It's not a good mode. It actually sucks the fun out of the game. It is a fun vampire, this competitive mode. And it shouldn't be that way, especially for someone like me who is a competitive person. I want to play a competitive mode to have fun. And this is punishing me for playing it. And that's not how this is supposed to work, you know. It should reward me for playing it, because I'm playing a harder mode than most people. I'm playing a mode that requires a lot more coordination, a lot more knowledge of the game. And by playing it, it is literally like kicking me down. It's saying, "No, you should. What are you doing? You idiot. You shouldn't be playing this." It's not cool. It's not fun. But there are good things about it. I do think that the you know, getting the golden guns and the animated sprays and stuff, that stuff is cool, but it should be more often. It should be more rewarding rather than just like a one little token thing you win. Maybe 5. Maybe that's too much. I think you would get your guns too quickly that way. Maybe add different things other than golden guns to unlock. Maybe add, you know, special skins, like seasonal skins that you can buy with this competitive token system. I think that would be really helpful. But that's not there at the moment, so, you know, only buying the golden guns, it's not as, it's just not as good. It needs to be a little bit more rewarding. But it is a good step in the right direction. You know, they have a cool idea there. And then you have the whole idea of, you know, the whatchamacallit, crap, I keep forgetting the name of it. The spray, the animated spray, there we go. I think that's really cool, but I think per 10 ranks, you should get a new animated spray. I think that would also be a really cool way to do that. So it's like they have good things there. They have good ideas. They just need to refine it. Is the system itself bad? No, it's kind of the same system as before. It's just presented in a different way. I think the presentation is better on the other way, and they should go back to that, but I understand if they won't. And then the other thing to that is, I don't think that the system itself is inherently flawed. I just think that it's not as rewarding. Once they fix that rewarding part, and they fix the punishment, then I think we would be in a much better place. Maybe even pull on one of the people who've been doing the ladders for StarCraft for so long. I mean, they have them right there. They're in the same, like, area. They're in the same building. I wouldn't say the same building. They're in different buildings. But, you know, they're all at, like, the Anaheim of Blizzard. They should be able to, you know, pull in these people who've been doing this kind of stuff and get their feedback and get them working on a system that works for this. Because this is not the competitive mode that anybody wants in this game. And that's unfortunate. So if you've been holding off on buying Overwatch, maybe you haven't had the money, maybe you weren't sure, or whatever, you're seeing how the game worked, I would honestly say, instead of picking up Overwatch at the moment with all this debacle, I mean, you're going to get a ton of hours out of this game. Countless, like hundreds of hours. So it's a good investment. But instead of doing that, I would suggest just go pick up Doom. Go play through the Doom single player, have a bit of fun with that. You'll get your money's worth out of it. You'll be done. Maybe by the time you're done with that, this will be fixed, and then you can pick up Overwatch. Like, at the end of the day, I know I said before that I think Overwatch is going to be my game of the year, but with this, it really kills that. It makes me not enjoy the game as much anymore. Like, I want to play competitive mode, but I'm being punished for it, as I've said many times, and I feel like, you know, it's unfortunate, but I feel like it's making me not like the game as much. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I think Doom is a better game at the moment. I'm enjoying Doom more, and I've played through the story completely once. I'm doing it once for the channel. I'm going to do it again I'm probably going to have to restart several times on Ultra Nightmare, which is kind of the roguelike version of Doom, where if you die, you restart. And I like that, and I've been having more fun with Doom. And that's not, like, when Doom first came out, I still thought Overwatch was going to be my game of the year. But as soon as they released this competitive mode, it killed all of the hype for that. And that shouldn't be the case. Either way, I've been rambling and all that, but I figured I needed to get my opinion out there because I've mentioned how much I like Overwatch in the past and how good of a game it is. And I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't warn you that this competitive mode is really bad. Though you probably already knew that, because there's a lot of nerd rage out on the internet about it, and it's been very vocal. And you probably have heard how bad it has been. Hopefully they'll fix it, and when they do, I'll probably make another video and I'll talk up the game again. But at the moment, I'm not enjoying it. So with that being said, we shall see you guys next time.